So, new me, but same stream. Same technical difficulties, C10, as always. But to answer your question, are people gathering for a particular start time? Nope. Today is the new patch. It came up at, 5 a.m. So I haven't streamed in about 2 months. The circumstances are different than before, but I don't even want to get into them right now. I guess I am back and will probably go with same schedule as before. And today we're playing 14 because it is patch 6.2, and there is an eyeball, an unwelcome visitor. I didn't really. I might have watched the trailer for this, but I have not. Like, I didn't watch it a whole lot, and I didn't really read any discussions about what's coming out. And I didn't watch the live letter, so all of this will basically be a total surprise to me, which is nice. And now it's working again. Properties, yes. Okay. So I thought at first the cord on the microphone is a little bit loose. It is actually a lot loose. And if I touch the mic at all, I think it's going to disconnect again. So let's carefully play Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, trials and tribulations. Kanjita, I've made a breakthrough. After countless days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say... Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Yes, of course. My apologies, Kanjita. Being consumed by my research for so long, I'm afraid I have quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation or stream. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, with a crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides containing the memories of a party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of a divine monstrosity wrought of mystic beasts and powerful mage. It would be difficult for me to have forgotten that. It was kind of important. I kind of almost died. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions Themis and Arachthonios was sufficient to restore order to the circles of Asphodelos, but the greater threat remains. In the depths of Pandemonium, a presence yet stirs its intentions, an identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Yeah. Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, I detected an anomalous etheric signature which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of this pattern suggested a feeling of loss or yearning, specifically a yearning to be made whole, and indeed ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. That can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, will this expedition be carried out only by us, or will Kanjita grace us with her protection? No, I must go to the past. I must have gone to the past. I'm afraid she has more pressing matters to attend to. You mean used to having more pressing matters to attend to. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandemonium, where this all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid, that is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. it would be prudent to check in on occasion in case there are any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask you to remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. But they want to go on an adventure. You can't meet. Do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Why, yes, that would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I've already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. Goodbye. Goodbye forever. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudian tends to become blind to all else. Indeed, he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the professor has been able to capture its ethereal yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve this puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for this crystal seems to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm sure he'll be back to his usual self, and not be taken over by it. He will not come back as a mind-controlled zombie. As for you, Conjita, it might have been best for you to have returned to Pandemonium, like 10,000 years ago, so hurry up. Speaking of which, I did have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There is something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined within Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation in Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. And if we know anything about the Ancients, it's that they would have kept thorough records of the results. Brilliant. Diving into these records may shed light on the creatures Conjita has yet to encounter, if your theory proves correct, that is. While there are no guarantees, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only her strength to carry the day, but that's easily enough. For your own sake as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. Okay. Alright. To the time machine mobile. Oh, I don't even have to go to the time machine mobile. I can just teleport. So these are always fun to do on day one. It's too bad I couldn't do it in the morning, where everybody would truly be blind. There may be people rerunning this, so they've seen it before. I did not expect to meet you here, of all places. You mean of all times? You seek records of Pandemonium's creations. Master Themis has just finished perusing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble and gleaned what information I could. Ah, so you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave, because I am lazy. Sure would be a shame if I had to do my job. As should we, for I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandemonium's protective wards continue to be assailed by our unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Erichthonios' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he may deliver the creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter, more idle suspicions that I would like to chase down. Rest assured, it shall not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask an acquaintance of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the naos to Pandemonium. And who is this going to be? Who is this going to be? La Habrea? No. Someone we've met before? No. Brand new person? Yes. Guy from the Patch trailer artwork? Yes. Although, no, that's La Habrea. Maybe. Definitely. Oh, should I have teleported? Too late now. What? So I have started a new job, and I will be I will be ending that job this Friday. It is terrible. It's a whole story unto itself. For Thursday. As I have pondered our expedition into Pandemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be good or ill. Hesperos and Erichthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked to his mentor with absolute devotion, while the latter looks to his father with bald hatred. I would not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions toward a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandemonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There were many other aspects of the facility's particulars I found troubling besides. I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my questions to a member of the Words of La Habrea. And here he is now. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Thamus. Thomas? Tank Engine? I understand you are conducting an investigation of Pandemonium and wish to know its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know exactly why Pandemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first I thought it to be simply a matter of convenience. Those creations which were deemed failures by the research of Elpis could be easily ushered into their new homes. But you have teleport spells. What's wrong with teleport, huh? Imagine my surprise when a trip to the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited, information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Enidur would have been a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of Pandemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmised, the majority of the creations kept within Pandemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interests changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically drew the attention of Pandemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and, in fact, it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations will be the subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the Chief Keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? Not very subtle. You're terrible at this. I know not what you're suggesting, but the keywords hold some sway within the facility. Not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit as of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic. We but recently received a report from one of the keywords stating that all is well within Pandemonium's halls. Really? And you are certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did their due diligence in confirming the identity of a sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I shall take my leave. While you are not yet permitted to conduct your While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for longer than is necessary. All is well. A blatant lie, and to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain we must return to Pandemonium with haste. I cannot guess as to why this false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill, as does the knowledge that our mysterious mastermind has at least one more keyword to puppet. Regardless, they have tipped their hand, and we would be remiss to leave Erichthonios at the mercy of their machinations. Let us hope no harm has befallen him. Let us hope that he has not turned into the 5th Pandemonium boss. Because he was already the 1st. And we beat him, easily. What were you interring? A moth? A gnat? There's nothing there. You're bad at this. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. Who goes there? It's me. Oh, it's not me. There's something to be admired in such single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix, but that monster is locked away. That it is, in spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you in this ill-fitting form if you must, but with control of Asphodelos wrested from my grasp, 'tis simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. No, you won't. Now, there is no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea, your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I have heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose student struggled to grasp the most rudimentary lessons, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea. At last you move to keep up. Pity that you remain behind, nevertheless. But what? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remain here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though you may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandemonium's greatest experiment. Les enfants terribles. No. There's the affection, I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Our desires align more than you know. What are you? Bloop. Uninvited guests join our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. I shoot it. I shoot it with my bow. Which button is the shoot button? Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low, even as power divine flowed through his veins. 'Tis plain there are worthier subjects to contend with. Bloop. Spooky? You can say that again. Hello, Synapse. It's patch day. Also, I'm streaming again. Just what was that familiar after? Thank you. If you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There is but one person who can hold thrall over familiar, creation, and keyword alike. Masks of the Father. Erichthonius is certain he knows the idea. Well, yeah, duh. Dodoy. It's La Habrea. Only we can't kill him, because that's a time paradox. We are currently several thousand years in the past, and the guy that we are talking to and potentially going to fight is a guy that we've already killed 10,000 years later. So we know he survives. So there can be but one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. Back to WoW. What's it called? Came out not too long ago, right? Dragonflight? A couple weeks ago, maybe? There is logic to that. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale, let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beast, with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the Convocation and the Words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as veil and mantle both. Oh, it's not out yet? Do they, I guess people are in the beta for it, perhaps? Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he's capable of this? He's capable of far more than you know, although he can still be beaten by level 50s. Is he? So you believe La Habrea to be a man of few scruples if it brings his goals closer in reach? Oh, okay, so it's not open beta or anything, but definitely some people are playing it, I think. That alone should be enough, but let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be one to let emotion stand in the way of his mission, I cannot believe there are no depths to which he would not stoop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast to your evaluation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There's one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. A wise course. I would not deny the truth if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomfiting to behold. Okay. Then we must move forward with no excess of caution. La Habrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandemonium. We can safely assume the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through Abyssos one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Erichthonius' side, in case our enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? Reboot. Thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that, even should we become separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. Of course. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magic will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you to even the scales somewhat. I trust you will be liberal with your weight. Okay, I do it. Bwom. Bwom. There it is. And now for combat. While the identity of Pandemonium's assailant is yet unknown, Erichthonius makes no effort to hide his doubts concerning La Habrea, whom he suspects is using the infernal prison for private experimentation. As if to confirm the warder's suspicions, a familiar appears in the halls of Asphodelos, claiming to be none other than the chief keyword himself. The creature mocks you with cryptic warnings before vanishing, leaving naught but questions in its wake. Their answers beckon from the shadows of Abyssos, daring brave souls to seek them out. Oh, hold on. Just in case. Let's turn off party in progress. So it's been 8 months since the first set of raids. It's the first time in a while that we get to do... Well, it's been 4 months since the Alliance raids came out. The 24-man. But this is the first good 8-man content in a while. And why must I wait so long? Don't you know I'm a healer? Oh, I should also decide what I'm rolling on. Maybe for the first week, I'll just need on everything, and whatever I get, I get. What is the required item level for this? Because people were unsure with... Okay, 585. And I'm at 589? 590? 590. And the stuff that drops from this should be... 610? Because... This is 580, so it should be 610. Oh, and there were the new tomestones. I know that one of the fights is some kind of mutated carbuncle. I have no idea what the other 3 are. Or not mutated, but maybe like the original carbuncle. From which all lesser carbuncles were wrought. Ow, my skin! May need to crank this BGM a little. Oh, yep. That's a carbuncle. Proto-Carbuncle. Come to me, jungle friends. Spikes all around the cage. Be careful of being knocked back, clearly. Searing Ray, are we... it looks like mage something. Alright, that was a frontal. Ouch, to you. Ruby Glow. Hits everybody. And... how are we going to... I stepped inside. Alright, so it's inside the ruby glowing area is unsafe. Topaz stones. Alright, so ruby is going to be different than topaz. Those are all going to point-blank AoE. Alright, boring. Arng, hungry. Oh my. Which of these are lit up? Or none? Or all? Huh. Unfortunately, I am the only person with 2 vuln stacks. How unfortunate. Alright, so that was easy enough. I'll hit everyone, just as planned. All according to Keikaku. Acidic... Oh, we're down? And... a thing? Vega from Street Fighter? Okay. He's... okay, he's breaking the cage. We have all fallen into a pit of acid. That's okay. This is a really long cutscene for boss number 5. Alright, so he likes to eat slime, so we should stop him from doing that. Alright, so these are going to reflect... Oh, look at how they're shaped. Curious. Alright, so it bounces off of the wall. Nasty poison on him. Can't dispel it. I regen him. Carbuncle is half dead. Venom Squall. Not to be confused with Venom Cloud, I guess. Oh. Sonic Howl, not to be confused with Tails Howl? There's no Sonics in Final Fantasy. How silly. Oh no, they're different. They are more differenter. Those are... he's going to bite. He sure is going to bite. Oh no. Oh! Oh gosh! And I am dead. I was devoured for 10 million damage. Almost. Oh, they're going in order. Okay. I should have known that it was going to be that. For some reason, I don't know, ability names, I don't know them yet. Topaz stones. Okay, so that's going to reflect, I see. That one's going to glow. Oh, are we allowed to? I was tricked. Everybody else went over. Please come up. It came up. Oh, is that gonna be okay? That's alright. Just in case. Okay. LB? Right on time. Okay, so I failed to grasp many of the reflection abilities, including the one where I was like, I think the party's going the wrong way, but I'm going to follow them, and I did. Actually, it probably wasn't the whole party. It was like one person. I saw one person go, so I went. Ever. Okay. Spread the joy of sleep to yourself. I'll try streaming again on Thursday. So, what have we here? There we go. I got Baum. There were slight technical difficulties at the beginning, it is true. He knows this. He knows it even though he was not here, because he knows my heart, and the technical difficulties ensconced therein. So this is where research is conducted on creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Arachthonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are a force to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I might observe you further. With my unblinking spooky eye. Oh, nope, not a spooky eye. It's just La Habrea this time. With the old La Habrea music. Red mask holder. Who could this be? Were the circumstances different, I might thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe we can forego introductions, unless I have misread you. Who dis? Who's that? I don't know. Never heard of you. I pretended. I understand that my son's rhetoric is rarely compelling, but come now. I can be none other than La Habrea, of the Convocation of 14. Except I have a beard, because I am evil. Good night, Ever. If you are truly who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Bloop! What is this? What is this power? Now this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to ether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin ether, and in an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will beget the same results. I would advise you to think carefully before deciding your next action. Strike me down here, and it would cause a time paradox. And Arachthonius' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. That's my mom. Mother, you would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Arachthonios, we are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have your allies for protection, so what harm is there in hearing me out? Grr. Arachthonios, wait. There is a question I must needs ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as are you. I have my answer. The La Habrea that I knew took pride in the Convocation and would never suffer its denigration. You sully his station with this farce. Oh, so it's not the real La Habrea. Or it is the real... Or I fought the fake one? Does he live? Who knows? Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but I know his voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. Nothing personnel. I said there is no Sonic in this game. What trouble have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? Imposter. You have no right to claim that form, that mask. So if Themis is Elidibus, which Elidibus is he? Frowny man. What? Who? 'Twas a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield powers that are mine by right? Any worth you may have hinges on that which you so despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. I'm confused. Erchthonius, listen well. I am Hephaestus. Who's that? That's a famous Greek guy, right? Totally is. And it is I whom you should call father. What in the name of creation? We would do well not to stand idle while our enemy is about. I believe an explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let us return to safety so you may provide it. That sounds more like the La Habrea I know. Then which one am I allowed to kill, and which one will cause a time paradox? I guess I'll just have to kill them both, to be safe. No, wait. I mean neither. That was close. I almost killed him. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As La Habrea said, I am Elidibus of the Convocation, and emissary of their will, or one of the Convocation. For reasons which do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I'm something of a Decepticon myself. Wait, I wasn't supposed to tell you I was a Decepticon. I'm bad at this. That is reassuring to hear. The burdens we bear are heavy enough without adding a grudge to their weight. In any case, we have pressing matters to return to. Let us do as La Habrea suggested and return to the gates. We can speak there. Please help him. Save him. Who is this? Another voice? Come on now. How am I supposed to keep track of all this? And fight a carbuncle? I see Elidibus has chosen to keep odd company, such a vexing composition of ether you possess. I still don't understand. Well, he's gonna Setsume for us. As you are aware of by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azem and I detected irregularities in Pandemonium, we decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I'm sure La Habrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was, so I shall save that story for later. First, I would like to speak of you, my friend. Although neither Azem nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came with her highest recommendation. That alone was enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That somewhere in the world a guiding star so similar to herself was out there amused Azem to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories that Mistress Vana, who held the position of Azem previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She, too, now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Wait, if she too as in... I'm confused. She too. Wait, who's the two? He's saying... He's not wearing white robes. He's the current Elidibus. You're allowed to wear white robes after you stop being a member of the Convocation, like Vena did. Vena stopped being Azem, or relinquished the seat of Azem, but stayed alive, which is unconventional. And she has the white robes. Who? Yeah, I'm confused by. Also, my what do you call it is poorly positioned. Move. Although I was aware of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. I merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. Or is he saying that I'm wearing white robes? Because I am, coincidentally. I may know but a small portion of your whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never leave me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Okay, and I wanted your materia. I admit my own grasp on what has just occurred is somewhat tenuous. Doubtless La Habrea can elucidate matters for us. A keyword's jail. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea, and truth be told, I had hoped we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is that thing that called himself La Habrea, and why is he the spitting image of your younger self? Oh, is that... Okay. I did not catch the fact that he was supposed to look like a younger La Habrea. I find it hard to believe you've only just now found out such a being was wreaking havoc in Pandemonium. Did you think matters would simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandemonium, including the fact that Azem and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation. For a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the key wards stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. While Hephaestus' deception was almost childish in its simplicity, it became plain to me that your grasp on the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning. I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another masquerade as one of the Convocation, not without good reason, at least. As you well know, the name La Habrea is but a marker of my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. Hephaestus has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it, as he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way. Yet within his heart is naught but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. La Habrea is a Dark Knight? If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is the product of experimentation gone awry, a reminder of the days when I was yet young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems time has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreparably. That's not a no. Now that he is awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandemonium's protective wards, he shall invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. Oh. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide the star and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation of Pandemonium, if its existence posed even the remotest risk to our people. Yet, as you can see by Erichthonius' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Azim and I grappled with this conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. 'Twas the only way I could truly determine the best solution. And you need not trouble yourself with that any further. Oh, you need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elidibus, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials we've endured, the foes that Conchita has stood against. They weren't that hard. I didn't even die. Conchita, is it? A being of such ether as I have never seen. What are you? She is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Conchita. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. I think I should fight more things. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestus, and I highly doubt La Habrea has been forthcoming with the truth. But we've managed to regain control of Asphodelos. He must be made to see that there's merit in continuing on this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even La Habrea would be compelled to listen. Is that how that works? Just gonna say, I declare emissary. You can't just say it. I didn't say it, I declared it. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion as Themis can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time, seen what we've seen. Based on that alone, I trust you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present there are merits, both in destroying Pandemonium outright and in taking time to rescue its researchers, and neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into Abyssos, interring any mythic creations we encounter along the way. You have yet to witness Conchita's might and Erichthonius' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if our endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. Says the failer. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Conchita, come find me when you're finished. Wah. Erichthonius is understandably frustrated, but if we are to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray, lend an ear to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. And wear a bard outfit when you do so. Okay, I will. Chow. Oh, wait. Talk to them. You have done all you can with words. Only your actions can convince me now. Despite recent developments, our plan remains unchanged. Pray call me Themis for the time being. It shall put us all in the correct mindset. And in fact, I may be coming to prefer that name. Wow. Wow. You do have my gratitude, ill-fit as I am to show it at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried out his plan without a second thought. When at first we realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, there remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would wish to see this facility erased from the world, and they don't deserve to be abandoned simply for carrying out their duty. And besides, Hephaestus has secrets yet untold, secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. I mean to uncover the truth behind his words, the truth of my mother. While La Habrea was quick to dismiss his claims, I fail to see what Hephaestus would gain by fabricating such a story. All I was told of my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the fatal blow, we've all seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Conjita? Does the La Habrea you know have any regard for the lives of others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? I have no idea what he might be like in this age. Oops, I just told you I was from the future. This age? Just how long has it been since last you met? Ha! He thinks that I'm from the past, like all of the other people he knows. Regardless, I'd like you to try and view him as he is now. Another opinion would be much appreciated. But it is plain there is much to consider. Thank you, Kanjita. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotion where he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way to do that will be to regain control of Abyssos. Okay. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those depths than any of us, and seeing how we require every advantage we can afford... Conchita, would you speak to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do, and then betray you. Researchers of different layers seldom contact one another unless work is involved, and I know next to nothing about the keyword of Abyssos. Any morsels of information La Habrea can offer would be a boon. Well, let us ask if he will grant us a boon. By running back and forth. Hoo-ha! Look, it's me. Can I fight a monster, please? Erichthonios appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share some relation to Azem. Your unusual ether does not mark you as a familiar. It is unlike anything I have seen, even among the countless concepts I have observed. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Azem never ceases to surprise. As me. The previous Azem was much the same. In taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people. That... In taking the entirety of the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that a more logical mind would have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. just as you and Elidibus have conducted yourselves in this matter. The true danger of Ezem's nature is its tendency to infect all those she comes into contact with. Emmett Selk said said much the same. Trust that I shall do naught that would violate my duty. And yet you so frivolously invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more of Abyssos, I take it. Although I no longer have control over many of its functions, I can yet sense what creations lie within. Okay, well, no spoilers, please. The chief keyword's reach is far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creations of note. Perhaps they have been made into fodder for experimentation, or perhaps they have been transferred to the deeper circles. So I must fight an empty room next. Quite the challenge. Yet Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of hegemony. Keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. I knew her as a woman gifted in magic and blessed with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still. Ah, yes, I am able to sense that she is logical. That is what my sensors detect. They are better than Hope's sensors from 13.3. There is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that's because she's already been twisted into a Prometheus, doubtless against her will. Candida, Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find a means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Erycthonios. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Ooh, saying get carried, son. Literally. Literally in both senses. We are going to literally carry him, and he is literally his son. Mahabharata insists that the only way to save the star from the horrors lurking within Pandemonium is summary destruction. However, Themis and Erycthonios succeed in convincing the chief keyword to allow you a chance to prove the worth of another way. You are tasked with interring hegemony, the keyword of Abyssos, and a master of creation magics in her own right. Succeed in this, and you may continue your journey into the facility's deeper circles. Fail, and Pandemonium, along with its warders and creations, shall be reduced to nothing. Well, if she were logical, then she would let me win. Because, logically, if she kills me, then she will be killed along with all of her friends. Let us not change a strategy that has served as... Oh, wait. What am I doing? Put my white mage robes back on. There. Let us not change a strategy that serves us so well thus far. Bring hegemony to heal using white magic. Candida and Erycthonios and I shall inter her when the time is right. Now we prove our strength. Only then can we free the other warders and unveil the truth hidden in Pandemonium's shadows. Hegemony was a woman of reason and logic. She would never be swayed by Hephaestus' wretched schemes. I hope she was not made to suffer overmuch. Why are there 2 healers and none of anybody else other than a DPS? I get the feeling the Qs would be faster as a tank. But I like going in as healer the first time. It's fun. They're using the model of Reen from E8S, I think. 2 panels for each of us. Very well. Lyrics. Etheric polyominoid? Okay. Well then, is that it? Oh, okay, that was it for now. Chorus Ixio, speak English. Speak English when you name your abilities. Choros? Choros again? Dark 4. Rot from the inside out. I'm gonna drop this as far away as I can. A glossal parasite attack. Oh my gosh, it's on me! 5-4 and then stop. It will take control. Oh, okay. I get it. We were supposed to face them away. They are bleeding. That's fine. Polyominid, I forgot what that is. Oh, it's this stuff. Choros? Waste away. Strophe Ixo. Alright. Benediction is not up. For a minute, I thought the boss was summoning Carbuncle. that was the summoner. Okay. Dark 4. Spread my wings. Everybody is fine. Well, mostly. I could heal them a little more. Cannot measure an ethereal exchange. Polyominoid Sigma. Grind set. They are going to switch. Okay, so this is actually safe. Oh no! He's alive. He's okay. Oh, so some of them are real bad. Okay, right here looks good. Yes. Dark 4 again. So what is this? Warping the nature. Okay, so on Savage, you won't get to see the exchange. You'll just have to know that it's coming. Oh, jeez. Rude. Oh no! That's quite the overlap of mechanics. We're 24%. We don't have any reses, so unfortunate. Yeah, that... Man. I mean, you only get this experience once of going like, hey, here's the, These are not switching, so they're fine where they are. Oh, are they really going to kill it from 20% themselves? They got 2 paladins. I suppose they can. It's a little boring for us. So at the same time that you're waiting for that to go off, you don't get very much warning of which way the next thing is gonna go. Like, witness randomizer? Yeah, people post what's it called? The windmill? Or are you talking like actually playing the game and it's randomized? Because there's some website called the windmill that either auto-generates or people submit their own. Oh! Paladin down. Alright, they could still get this. That's the wrong one, unfortunately. That's better. %? It's all out of MP to be a paladin. Oh, diagonal switches this time. And yeah, where did he... Okay, that I see. %. They're gonna get an LB Limit Break 1 soon. I think I would have preferred that they wiped. Oh no! Tank Buster on the ninja. He is dead. Or she. Re-dance partner. LB1. Watch out. 4%. HG? Nope. So this thing where the way that you're facing causes a cone attack is from another fight, although it does not, what do you call it? In the other fight, you don't get frozen in place as it happens, which makes it different. 175 health? Dead. Oh, well. Yeah, nothing much a dancer can do to survive 3% more boss. Additional rule sets mean you have to unlock each mechanic from a random panel before those panels can be solved. Curious. Maybe I'll give it a chance. I've never played any randomizer. Like, I'm aware of their existence, but haven't played any. Alright, so we all know the mechanics. It's just that one overlap that happens when it's around 25% is horrifying. I just realized I didn't eat food. That could have made the difference. Not really, though. Oh no. Someone is getting hit by the churros. I'm in the second set of taking over people instead of the first. That's cool that it makes you do like you look like a blue mage. Blue mage's breath attack. I just tetra'd myself by accident. Churros. Yeah, it seems like if possible, you want to find a safe spot within these inner four squares so that you can quickly reposition to the opposite corner if you need to. Dark. So I like this fight. I think I like this better than whatever... What was the... fight number 2 in the last raid? The Hippocampus? Because, yeah, I'm not sure if... I probably will resume playing Prey on Thursday. I don't know how I'm going to go back to playing Understand after 2 months off. Oh, I think this is the... Is this the tricky one now? Not quite yet. So both of these are going to be safe. Polyominid Sigma. Diagonalize. Okay. No complications. Good. The really bad one's coming up. Right? Isn't it? Mustn't it be? It must be. Okay, so this is safe, but disaster, we're gonna have to run this way. Two deaths. Benediction. Flowers. Flowers heal people. Where is the bad? Or no, were we just super unlucky last time? Or is this it now? Did we have like an unlucky phased skip? Okay, wait. Did I mess up already? No, we didn't get it at all. Did we? Am I a crazy person? You can tell me. There was a far worse one where all 3 mechanics overlapped. It might have been because we phase pushed. Choros. I'm safe from the Choros. Boom. Bonk. Flop. So now are they going to tease us by naming the 3rd circle and being like, oh, well, I guess we'll go there now. And then we don't actually get to go there till, till 6.4. And instead we're just stymied twice in a row while trying to get there. Looks like I'm winning the helm. Oh! Rolling 92s on everything. Or 90-somethings on everything. Alright. I got something. But because somebody rolled on the armor first, I actually got the armor. Very well. I could sense from here that hegemony had been contained. The effect of Hephaestus' tinkering is even more dire than I had imagined. As is to be expected, Ericthonius appears quite pleased with our victory. We've won. The keyword is sealed away, and alive this time. La Habrea can't deny us now. Servant of Violence. Isn't that just Carbuncle again? Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemony has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Smug face. Moreover, this being, Ether, is thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemitheos, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue? As for that, there is one Amogiu, whose very presence puts the others at risk. 'Twould be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandemonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a neophyte can upraise his companions. That's something that Conjita and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path and to act before that path lies closed to us. Although La Habrea would do your job way better than you're doing it. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandemonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. Is she going to be the fourth boss? Is he going to bring her back to life and we have to kill her? And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle. This is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus's words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Ericthonios. I've already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely a performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother. Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss... You would call me fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition? For the sake of the star, no doubt. He's gonna slap him. Slap your son. Oh, nope, he slapped himself. I can hear it again, that voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus, father. Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. Zoom. No, listen not, Erichthonios, said the distant voice. Who's that? Apologies. You taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. Shoop. And then I fought a bad guy. Nope, not yet. That was Hephaestus' work, there can be no doubt. It seems he learned from his previous failure. Hephaestus is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Erichthonios had made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. 'Twas but a matter of time until it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Erichthonios himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywards had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? I heard it. I heard it with my elf ears. As I thought, someone was trying to warn Erichthonios, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywards? No, it's his mom. Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Erichthonios past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. There is time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold in which to brave Pandemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. We will surely reach them 8 months from now. Just as with Hesperos, Erichthonios is in danger of being consumed by Hephaestus' spell. However, I have faith he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. Labrea, pray, tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandemonium is called Tartarus, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. Hephaestus has laid traps in every corner of its halls. You have no hope of surviving past the threshold. That, I expect, is where Congido shall shine. Her dissolute ether shall allow her to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. Yep, I got Dynamis. And time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it before we depart. It's like, reveal your secrets. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Erichthonios. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there's the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Erichthonios' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? Although it is weird, because we have been told that they, by and large, are like, death is great. You get to stop. You get to stop living and then start living as someone else without memories. that they're like, returning to the star is, you know, a joyous thing. And it is supposed to be weird that Erichthonios feels that way about his mother, because almost everyone is like, oh, it's time for me to die, and everyone throws him a party, and it's like, awesome. Although I guess she didn't decide, she died in some kind of accident, so she died like before her time. I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that feel it still greater pain. And so you drove your own son over the edge. Tut this man. How dare you? No, you are right. See? La Habrea knows I'm right. The blame for Erichthonius' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well. I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. Okay. The remaining keyword is Agdistis. She has served in Pandemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agdistis. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for the interment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Interment shall not be necessary. From here I can sense Agdistis' essence, but it is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with hegemony. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. Kill her all the way? All right. Womp. So they did tease us with the name Tartaros, but that's gotta come later. I shall establish control of Abyssos while keeping an eye on your battle. When the dust is settled, Hephaestus will have nowhere left to flee. I sense that Hephaestus has come close to perfecting his image of a Hemitheos, which means his research is in its final stage. Okay. Ah, no, stop. Stop. Erichthonius' mind falls into the hands of the enemy, and he is spirited away to Tartaros, Pandemonium's deepest circle. The only path to his rescue goes through Agdistis, whose magics are peerless among the keywords, even more so now that they have been augmented with Hephaestus' endless experimentation. To deliver her soul from suffering and bring Erichthonius to safety, you must face your most daunting foe yet. I do it. I face it. So maybe we will not actually have time for island adventures. After I finish this up, we'll probably, well, this one and the next one, because there'll be an 8th circle. I will probably have to end the stream because I go into work at 7 a.m., which is the worst, which means I have to get up at like 5:30, which means I really should be in bed by like 10:30, which is in 2.5 hours. So no time for islands. I shall island on the morrow, off stream, and get many achievements. Well, it's hooray work that I've already given my 2-week notice for, and will be ending my employment with them this Friday. Oh, it's the worst. It's like we'll have more of a story time on Thursday when I won't be interrupted by it. Long story short, it is almost entirely manual labor, which is not what I thought it was when I applied for it, because it said help desk technician, and almost everything on the list of duties was things that you do while seated at a desk in an air-conditioned room, instead of not. Instead of doing, like, warehouse work in an un-air-conditioned gymnasium in the middle of a heat wave. It's crazy how incorrect the job description was, and the interviews. Or at least one of the interviews. The second, I don't really remember the second interview that well, but it was probably with someone who was more honest about what the job entailed. Yeah, like, I was really ready to, like, give notice the second day. But I was like, I was actually going to on the third day, but then got, like, sidetracked by something as soon as I got to work. And then didn't. So I was like, I'll wait until Friday so that I can say I did a whole week. But my mind was already thoroughly made up by Wednesday. And I was kind of considering just quitting. Just not going at anymore. It was that bad. I don't think I've ever quit a job without saying, like, I'll be quitting in 2 weeks. Even though obviously you're allowed to. Will this be yet another unique BGM? Or will it be a copy of the last one? Is she a tree? No. She is next to a tree. No, she is a tree. She is a tree and eyes. And lemons? I saw some giant floating lemons with mouths on them. Those might have also been hers. Yeah, those are mouth lemons. Oh, mouth and eye lemons. And skin lemons? Many things are happening with her. Let's eat a compote. To do it. How dreadful, he said, understating. Bow of Addis. Oh, it smashed like that. Okay. Alright, fair. Fair. You can do that. I will step out of the way. Anything else bad happen during? Yes. A very bad. I made it in time. Bow of Addis. Is she holding him farther out than normal? I'm gonna run way in. Was it a good idea? Yes. Okay, she was holding her hands together. And now this is... Okay. This is super simple so far, he said, in order to tempt fate. Oh. Oh, did we separate goodly, or did we not? Whoops. Oh, okay. Alright. We have some... Those are... Can I go all the way to the back? All the way to the back? Correct. All the way to the right. Delightful. We've never had an arena like this before. It's fun. Spark of life. When life gives you lemons, you give the lemons back? Is that the secret? Forbidden fruit! It's the lemons! Beware what they may spawn. Okay. Eyes, and eyes. Okay. They are going to AoE. Oh, okay, okay. Those are, I forget, what do we call those? For some reason, the name escapes me. Not earth shakers. That's the cones. What's happening? More lemons. These are skin lemons. Does that mean go in? Bird? Bird, go in for bird? No. Oh, the walkways are dangerous. And everyone died. Say now, how are we going to, Nope, not like that. Gonna step into those after they go by. Ow! I got hit. We're doing just fine. Never better. Alright, I did get killed by that. Horribly. Why did it hurt so bad? And our other healer is down? What is it casting? Lemons! Lemons are bad. Get away from them. These ones are bad. Eye lemons are bad. Cool. Continue healing the people. Eventually get the... Oh. Set that over there. Use our eye lemons so we get away from them. That is going to hit there, so we need to get to here. We need to get here. Am I correct? Am I the only correct person? Unsure. Everyone else seems fine. They know something that I don't. What now? What's that? What's that? Lemons. Eye lemons. Oh no! Okay, everybody's out first? Crap. I'm dead. Right? Right? Nope. Nope. Bow hitting the sides. Get back. Got this in the bag. Can you believe she thought she was going to kill us? With me as healer? No. No, never. Oh, oh, bad. Can I quickly? With that? Yes, we're okay now. Wow! We're... Aha! The word okay has never meant so little. Is this an enrage? Fruiting? Fruiting? Eye and skin. Which way is... Oh. Let's just do that. Let's do that. Everyone is fine. I didn't see what they did, but everyone is fine. Crying out loud. This game. Spark of life, that's what hits everybody again. Are there going to be several? No. Glare 3? What is that? Oh, it's this. Whew. This was a fun fight. I, again, need to respect that a little bit more. And I need to pay attention to what's happening in life. Fruits. Alright, we're gonna run left or right. Is one of them going to be bad? Oh, okay. We're gonna have those things. %. Less than 1%. Got him. That's probably my favorite fight of Pandemonium so far. Everybody just passing on it? Okay, so I have 2 helms, so I will restrain myself from rolling on helms for the last one. May grab a just so I have the accessory. And then next week I'll make sure to grab 3 armors and an accessory. Seems like a decent idea. The moment Agdistus was slain, the flow of ether and Pandemonium focused keenly on this location, creating a ton... okay, fine. Fine. It worked. It conveniently worked. This space was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a key ward would have been able to detect it, and even then with great difficulty. Ergo... If only I could restore Tartarus to order, but I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master La Habrea. Likewise, keyword Agdistus, I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hephaestus' spells, even diminished as you were. It's almost like we should have interred her and cured her. It would have been fine. 'Twas not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotions that is all too easy to become lost in. He fulfilled my deepest wish to be a lemon tree. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus I am able to appear before you now. Even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands, some small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. The report! That was you! Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I have called out to you. The hope that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There is something you must know, that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. This isn't the present, it's the past. Pay attention. She's very bad at watching time travel. Forgive me for what I am about to do, Master Lahabrea, but the story must be told. 'Tis the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Erichthonios. Plus, you can't stop me. I'm a ghost. You punch me, it goes right through. No longer can you hide your heart away. Hephaestus? No, the mask marks him as Lahabrea. Master Lahabrea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hephaestus. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Erichthonios? My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We would be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. With our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. So kill him. Easy. He's just a child. Erichthonios believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul mere tools to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parents' shadow. This is an interesting plot. Although convenient that that before dying she was like, "Now let me show you. Let me give you a very long dying speech." Erichthonios loved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you've borne all this time. Such is Lahabrea's nature. Every action, every word, a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I have revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to Lahabrea to paint the rest for you, and for Erichthonios, I hope. Thank you, Agdistus. I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephaestus has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. It was Erichthonios' hatred of his father that caused him to fall victim to Hephaestus' magics. Yet the roots of that hatred were born from a son's love. A love nurtured not by a mother caring for her offspring, but by a researcher creating the ideal test subject. Pandemonium abounds with demons indeed. Aegisthus was ever a bold woman, even in her extremely long final moments, that she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad am I that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. Ooh, take some of those. One final wish. Move to strike. No, they don't strike things from the record in Phoenix Wright. Anything that you say is indelibly remembered. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. It was merely because she knew he would be the most pliable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Erichthonios could handle the weight of such betrayal after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research and succeeded in creating Hemitheoi. I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Erichthonios to safety, in accordance with Aegisthus' last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple, now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandemonium to his will. There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the Black Heart of Tartaros, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. So how was running? Laharea, I ask that you assume the duty of summoning Khajiit's phantom warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight within Tartaros would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I take it, then, that you have no intent to seal him away as before. The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, so he must be extinguished. Also, I must lose all of my memories somehow, so that we don't, so he doesn't remember me in the future. Well then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together. How is that? Because it would be too lazy if he just got his memories erased, like they did with Emmett Salk. And it also would be too dumb if he was like, I promise to, like, if I was like, hey, listen, make sure you don't remember me if you ever see me in the future, 10 years from now. And he's like, I promise I will pretend. That would also be dumb. I wonder if La Habrea actually does die here, and the guy that we meet in the future is Hephaestus. The end is in sight. Return to me safely, friend. If Hephaestus truly means to continue Athena's research, then Erichthonius is indispensable to his goals. He is safe, but for how much longer, I cannot say. As At last, Hephaestus' wicked plan is laid bare. He aims to use Erichthonius as a tool to resurrect Athena, former chief keyword of Pandemonium. Although his exact motivations remain shrouded in mystery, there is no time for doubt, for every idle moment allows Hephaestus to draw one step closer to completing his grand experiment. You hurry to the hidden experimental compound, that this chain of twisted ambition might be broken at last. I join it. What happens? Pretty hard to top the lemon tree. Let's be honest. And we never got the mouths. We got the eye lemons and the skin lemons, or whatever the lines are supposed to be. Mouth lemons for Savage Raiders only. Again, they're like, you got 2 healers already. Nobody wants to tank their first day. I guess. It is. And new music as well. There'll definitely be unique music for the final fight. DNA?
エリクトニオスの心はすでに我が手中にある。あとはお前たちを消し去るのみだ。
Do I recognize that voice? From an anime of some description? Perfect imperfection. Oh, we got La Habrea clones this time. What is that? Why can't I put my finger on that? What melody is that? Oh, it's the Asian theme. That's fun. Sunforge, hi. I should have guessed. Oh, alright, so what's that going to be? Forward? Forward? Nope, it was sides. Terrible. This is sides again. Oh wait, is this Japanese La Habrea's voice? It sounded like it just now when he said Sokomareda. Because that's a line that he says. Isn't it? Fruits of sacrifice, I missed it. Something about lemons. Oh, okay. Blazing footfalls. He's gonna knock us away from the... okay. Okay. That's fine. All of this is fine. Can't save him, can I? No. Rearing rampage? Like... Okay. Oh, what is that music? I'm trying to pay attention to it. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, it's Academia Anidar. Or one of the Academias. Gosh, what's happening? What's happening? Are those exploding hugely? They are. Oh, and then a thing went into that. So run away from it. I missed where both of them went. And now those are doing... I'm still not looking at things appropriately. Sunforge, sides. Genesis of Flame. Hits everybody. Reforged Reflection. Oh, he's got snakes. He's got a lot of snakes. Look away from both of those. Okay. I did it. Oh, and then we have to kill them. Gorgonion. Ectothermos? A thermos full of ectocooler? Makes sense. On theme with La Habrea. He drinks ectocooler. 90s kid. What now? Volcanic torches. Alright, I avoid them? Oh no. Wow. Okay. That's through the middle, in that direction. This is fun. Flame Viper on tank. Doom, 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 doom. A lot of the tank busters seem to apply a dot, which is fun and interesting. I just realized he's becoming the whatever, hippopotamus. Away from center to there, and then from the front. And then from the back. Rearing rampage, I forgot. Hits everybody. Fourfold fires. Oh, this is the one that... Alright, where you have to pay a lot of attention. Alright. Those two explode first, and then they jump to somewhere else? They jump to those two. You're healed! And then they jump to those two. And we get these at the same time? Oh, those two couldn't get off of each other, but that's okay. Sides, sides. Lemon Tree, still a better fight. Oh, he's got the 3 Vuln stacks, so that the dot's hitting a little hard. Why cure 1? I don't know. And now he becomes Snake Man, Snaker of Snakes. Into the snake. Oh! Nope, that's new! All of this is new. Into the needle. Do not allow the snakes to get you. Ectothermos. Bum, 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 bum. That's really fun that they have the rift from Academia Anidar in there. Since he is some... I forget exactly. He used to work there, I guess. Sides. Wow, wow, wow. Flame Viper on tank. Nobody limit breaks. Gaze of the Abyss. We did it. But that's not the end of the Pandemonium story. So... what did I say? I'll roll on everything. Ooh, we get a little wind-up Ericthonios. I don't get it. Oh, no. What was I going to roll on? Everything except helm, but there is no helm. Alright, so I get something. Watch me not get anything because I passed on one thing and I lose all of the other rolls. Nope, didn't happen. Oh, that's right. I did say that I was going to roll on, or that I was just going to try for an accessory, but it's better that I didn't. I probably wouldn't have got it. I got 4 commendations. That's just for leaving late, I think. I didn't do very good. No, I did all right. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error, when out of mercy I confined you here. Now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. Oh, I wonder if the third part of the raid is going to take place in the present because he gets brought back by the stone. That might be interesting. If the third wing is not actually in the past. I see you will not go peacefully. That would be a cool twist that I just thought of. I was gonna say, yeah, why did I stop hitting him? Even a cast-off would uphold his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hephaestus shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember the deeds of La Habrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Erythonis' dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers. Oh, her dream. No, her desire. Would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Erythonis, he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? My wish. You would claim the name Hephaestus and call yourself his father, yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and he desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Erythonis, beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You, who are naught but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Mother, no, then who? How do I? Oh, get over here. Scorpion. I throw a harpoon at him. Because he is my friend. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena, did you ever? And La Habrea, I will have my say. How? His mind was mine. I can't explain. Kanjita's words reached me through the haze. When she yelled out Scorpion's catchphrase, they rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Oh, he's finally gonna do it, but I thought we were killing him. How? When did you master these bonds? Oh, we've interred much worse. You worthless barg! appears my failures have borne fruit after all. But do we get our answer to why La Habrea doesn't remember us in the future? You did well, son. Where are we? I don't know. Weather is fair skies, though. With Hephaestus' essence contained in this crystal, we may safely return Erechthonios above, that he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understand his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. Alright, it is 9, and I do need to eat and then sleep so that I may rise at an ungodly hour. Do I finish the quest, though? I guess I finished the quest. Even though it might wind up being like another half hour or more of cutscenes. I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing it appears your body is none the worse for wear. I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandemonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? Yes. Until the future. I see. Despite his muddled senses, Erechthonios felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. La Habrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed, he was naught but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away, a mass of ether without a material vessel. Storing his essence within a crystal was the most logical choice. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. And he tends dinner, and he tends sleep. I heard your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here, and what drove Athena to act as she did. I am ready. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the Words of La Habrea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of her to forget meals or even sleep. I didn't think you guys needed to eat or sleep. Aren't you... Did they have to eat? I don't recall. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in this endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations. Such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Words of La Habrea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with creation. The weaknesses of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the results could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. I take it I was born not soon after. Not soon after? Or soon after? What did he say? I take it I was born not soon after. You mean not long after? What? What a mistake. Just so. I believed she bore true affection for me and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandemonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandemonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandemonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdistis to keep watch from Tartarus's vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. Is that me? Is that me as a baby? You are well aware that out of respect for our neighbors in Elpis, the researchers of Pandemonium are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed? So quick you are to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception. That's irresponsible. You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Agdistis forever, as well you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once. Release Erichthonios, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time is come, I will have you know the why of it. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feelings of one weigh little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I am well aware, but you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great La Habrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, La Habrea, and we shall know one another more deeply than... What? Wait. Why did that auto-advance? I didn't push anything. Impossible. You bonded your souls? Is that what she said? We shall know one another more deeply than ever before. Aye, that the boundaries between us would cease to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become thee, memory and mind. And we are become one. Right? Right? And I thee. That's not the line. That's not the line. You're supposed to say the line. The line from Etherochemical Research Facility. Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. Okay, he's a mad scientist, that's all. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the self-same fervor. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption of my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. 'Twas my weakness that let this wickedness fester, but never again. Today I cast aside fickle emotion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was, and live only as La Habrea. But the La Habrea we know didn't only have half a mask. So did he Thus did I forsake a part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Also, how did you do it? It seems like that would be hard. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Igeorum and Emmett Selk in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse should something go awry with the remainder of my soul. In hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures, and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and father should, yet in truth he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet for all of that he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need for control blinded us to other perspectives. While I was enthralled to Hephaestus, you called out to me. What say you now? Does La Habrea speak true? I don't know, he did promise. I don't think people lie if they promise. That's why they call it promising. I just want to know one thing. Did you truly believe hiding the truth was best for me, even knowing how I felt about my mother? The La Habrea I know had a fatal flaw after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me or not. It's very distracting that there's been this, like, pulsing red light the entire time we've been here. The La Habrea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don that mask once more, so before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say... Thank you, Hephaestus. Because that was his name, his real name, before he became La Habrea. I see. There is a large eyeball back there. Should we deal with that? It says fair skies, so I'm not going to worry about it. Hephaestus was more than an imitation of La Habrea, he was quite literally part of him. But La Habrea to me is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become ever more himself in a way. I've said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge that my heart shall not lead me astray. I've heard enough. There is more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandemonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. And I will make sure that the eyeball does not catch us. Is there also an eyeball here? There might be. Eyeball? No eyeball. We are safe for now. We have regained complete control of the facility, but it shall take 8 months before things are in working order again. Athena viewed Erichthonios as the ideal test subject. Hephaestus' research must have been very nearly complete to seek him out like he did. I owe you an apology, Candida. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandemonium, then I would never have known La Habrea's story, my father's story. Okay. It was a tale I, too, was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Azima upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this she foresaw. I am afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandemonium, there is work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining wardens and restore this place to former glory, and then erase my own memories and yours. Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I will stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus' experiments, and how he intended to revive Athena. Why do you need to know that? Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus' essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hephaestus' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another? Did I bring it with me? I don't even remember. Well, imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process. Storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. What? Okay. This also means that someone besides the present company and Ezem was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandemonium. Then why would they not make themselves known? Even now, no threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed. That task may take some time. A research I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure, and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave the loose ends to us and continue upon your journey, or, if so inclined, take a much-needed repose for the next 2 patches. This talk of journeys smacks of Ezem. As well it should. She has pledged to keep moving until she has seen every corner of the world. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to La Habrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. The crystal that hangs from Erichthonius' waist was a gift from me, made in the hopes that it would spark growth in his aptitude for magic. 'Tis plain he no longer requires it, but I see no reason he cannot wear it for a little while longer. The crystal. Oh, that crystal. As you may have noticed during our battle, La Habrea's mask crown... What? As you may have noticed during our battle, when I fought him, La Habrea's mask crowns me when I've transformed. It is said that we manifest in a way that reflects our innermost selves. I had thought that mask a symbol of the chains that bound my heart, but recent events have caused me to reconsider that assumption. I don't even remember that. I look forward to you returning with the crystal, but worry not, I shall try my level best to stave off loneliness while you are gone. Okay. Teleport into the future. No, wait, where is this? Yes, teleport into the future. But something wonky is going to happen. Isn't it? Isn't it? Why, if it isn't Conjita, excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudian commissioned for his search was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he might be. And to make matters worse, Nemgigi has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. I was just on my way to the Itioscope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Is there going to be like a solo duty involved? Wait, we just popped down there? We're just like, yeah, let's go to the ethereal sea. That's fine. Oh, what do you know? All of Pandemonium is down here. What is that? Is that real? Why is it that whenever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Sid? No. Fortunal. And you too. Professor Claudian's assistants, I take it? Assistants? As you arrived before me, I take it you are involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. Okay, I'll explain, but it's gonna take 8 months. soon. And then I teleported forward in time, and here we are now. The end. While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was on his way to Azisla, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor, even for Claudian, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialized in the ethereal sea, Pandemonium, was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic and overlap with the MSQ. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for further irregularities. You two submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation has concluded. I will be back in 8 months. Very good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. Wow. And now to turn in the quest. Just when we need him the most, Professor Claudian remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him. We are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomenon may responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandemonium's pitiless spires justice. I can only wonder if the facility itself traversed the ages. Did the creations within do the same? What of the keywords? But answers to these questions will come in 8 months, I am sure. For now, I must do as Master Falchnell asked and write that report. As for you, Kanji, pray get whatever rest your responsibilities will allow, and maybe go on a private island sanctuary and don't come out? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum. The end. Alright, so that is all of our pandemoning. The other stuff that came with this patch, I'm just going to do off stream. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. It is good to be back, and I will be playing some Prey again on Thursday. Yes, that is the plan. Alright, have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you next time.